Yeah, live stream. Hopefully to the right channel. All right, what is up, everyone? Happy Monday. We are back. It is 2023, and it is time for another edition of our Stay at Home Open Mic presented by Barbed Wire Open Mic Series. We are based out of El Paso, Texas. My name is Richie David Marrufo, and I'll be your host tonight. But because we're doing this online, like always, we're going to be able to tap in and connect with people all over the country, and yes, sometimes even the world. If you're not familiar, this online mic is just like any other open mic. If you want to perform, all you have to do is sign up. So if you're watching live, we do have a little bit of room. Give us a couple of performers into the show, and I will update the description with a link so you can sign up. If not, just sit back, relax, enjoy the show. This is a showcase platform for everyone who comes on here. So I do encourage people to not only share their work in about 5 to 7 minutes, whether that be original work, something that you're trying out, something experimental, or just something you wanted to dust off. It's all game. We do the cover poems. So if there's a piece that you want to cover, if musicians can do it, so can poets, right? As Kit likes to say. So I also encourage all the performers to share social media pages, websites, merchandise, ways in which people can support and connect with them. Like I always said, you may not be able to buy that book that is out, but you can also follow someone on social media and share a video of them reading their poetry. And by sharing it, maybe they'll introduce that person to like a whole new audience. So that's really what we're trying to do here. And I know you guys get tired of hearing this from YouTube peeps, but if you like and subscribe, all those things, what happens is it gets pushed out to more people who like this kind of stuff, and that's what we want. Yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and kick things off as we have often done many, many times. I feel like I'm missing stuff. Hold on, am I going right into it? Yeah. Anyway, we're just here to like listen to some cool poetry, hang out, have some awesome discussions. If you want to be part of this again, just look in the description and you can find a link so you can sign up. And if you're a little shy and maybe now is not the time for you, then we welcome you next Monday because we do this every Monday as long as people keep coming out and want to use this space. All right. So I think let's go ahead and we can go ahead and get things started. And as I was saying, as we've often done many, many times, we're going to go a little bit north from El Paso and go to Denver, same time zone though. And we're going to check in with Mike Sindler, who always sets great show up. What's up, Mike?
Hey, wow, what was that? I will start as I pretty much always do by putting this little sign up for lighthousewriters.org, which is just an incredible organization. Got a whole new bunch of classes that are starting this week and in the next few weeks. So if you look on there, you'll find all kinds of neat stuff. And there's always events, free events and things. So give it a shot, man. And speaking of learning experiences, that's sort of what this first piece is about. It's called Whenever We Open Up to Learn. Teachers appear wherever we open up to learn. They're not only found in classrooms. From the time we first begin to crawl, to speak, to read, so many influence our perceptions, pave paths towards development, pulling us over obstacles, provide tools, light fires of inspiration. Even those who are negative can teach us how to not be like them if we do not let ourselves be sucked in, seduced by their destructive lessons. Sometimes it takes being tricked and being corrected by wiser ones to have truth and compassion sink into our minds, redirecting our compass to point toward how to better live our lives. It is rare a day goes by when there is not a chance to find some sort of teacher. Every moment is an opportunity to learn. And if we are humble, we can see a measure of the teachings that surround us wherever we are. To ignore the teachings and teachers around us, to close ourselves off in mistaken belief that we know all we need, or that others' shared experience cannot serve to make us better, is a bitter and wasted way to live. For it is only by taking what we learn and projecting it forward that we too can be good teachers, as well as perpetual students. It is only by continuing to care and nurture that we can give due respect and honor all teachers that have served us so well, wherever and whenever we open up to learn. And this next one is called Pick the Pepper from the Stew. I tried to pick the pepper from the stew so I could sprinkle it on something new, but you can't pull a seasoning from the past and put it on the tongue or plate. Once it dissolves, it simply will not wait. Its subtle fragrance is too delicate to last. The precious saffron blossom of desire turns bitter when held too close to fire, a waste of effort for the farmer and the chef. The rows of spices resting in clean jars, voices of flavor plucked from near and far, trapped too long, become a song without a breath. I tried to hang a picture in the air, hoping that it would return my stare, but the gravity of the moment let me down. What remains in time is invisible, and yet we think we see just what we want to get. Leaping to reach, we only touch the ground. The portrait we remember posing for, time spent that once seemed such a chore, an image precious if only half remembered. Days and weeks waiting for paint to dry, shadowed ghosts reflected in our eyes, are a lost map to unrecoverable treasure. I tried to distill wine from vinegar. The astringent, bitter taste had no allure, but at least there is some sweet left in the sour. I tried to pick the pepper from the stew so I could sprinkle it on something new. Delicacies stay fresh for but a fleeting hour. And I will end with, well, I'll end my part at least, with this, a little bit more of my sappy syrup. It's called Poorly Hidden. It's poorly hidden in every poem, each dedication and declaration, always shakily underline the current on which every verse flows. It's an open secret, an embarrassment of sorts, albatross perhaps, or nightingale, a broken-winged dove, a shy, sly fox standing at a self-determined distance. It's poorly hidden, easily found, letters falling in random order from your silhouette on page, pain, pen, portraiture, imprecise, poetic impression, poorly hidden, you know it's you. And that being said, as usual, I will put on the hat, and some people may be aware that we lost a really great poet today, former poet laureate, actually, Charles Simic. And I thought I would go ahead and read one of his poems in remembrance, and it's called In the Library for Octavio. There's a book called A Dictionary of Angels. No one has opened it in 50 years. I know, because when I did, the covers creaked, the pages crumbled. There I discovered the angels were once as plentiful as species of flies. The sky at dusk used to be thick with them. You had to wave both arms just to keep them away. Now the sun is shining through the tall windows. The library is a quiet place. Angels and gods huddled in dark, unopened books. The great secret lies on some shelf. Miss Jones passes every day on her rounds. She's very tall, so she keeps her head tipped as if listening. The books are whispering. I hear nothing, but she does. And I thought I'd do one more cover poem. Did a workshop with our wonderful Robin this past weekend, and she treated us to some E. Cummings, and I thought, yeah, I'll read E. Cummings because he's always great. And this is one called Somewhere I Have Never Traveled, Gladly Beyond. Somewhere I have never traveled, gladly beyond any experience, your eyes have their silence. In your most frail gesture are things which enclose me, or which I cannot touch because they are too near. Your slightest look easily will unclose me, though I have closed myself as fingers. You open always petal by petal myself as spring opens, touching skillfully, mysteriously her first rose. Or if your wish be to close me, I and my life will shut very beautifully suddenly, as when the heart of this flower imagines the snow carefully everywhere descending. Nothing which we are to perceive in this world equals the power of your intense fragility, whose texture compels me with the color of its countries, rendering death and forever with each breathing. I do not know what it is about you that closes and opens. Only something in me understands the voice of your eyes is deeper than all roses. Nobody, not even the rain, has such small hands. Thank you very much.
All righty then. Thank you as always, Michael. Oh, I love that poem so much. Like that's just like singing along to one of your favorite songs. Thank you so much for making it. Appreciate you. All right. And as always, check out Lighthouse Writers. They've got some really great classes put together. One of the things that I think we did pick up on during quarantine and the pandemic is that we could do so much virtual education, and that's kind of a plus, and so they have some stuff. And if you're ever in Denver, check out what they have going on. Again, you just check out lighthousewriters.org. And touching tribute, I did hear about Charles Simic passing, so thank you for sharing that. I had one lined up too for the end of the show, possibly to share. Alrighty then. So again, we're live. I do have the description updated. So if you're watching and you do feel like performing, you just click on the description below of the YouTube video, and there's a link there so you can do the sign up form and everything. But right now, we're going to go ahead and come back to El Paso EPTX, and we're going to tune into some poetry from Robin Schofield, who has a new book coming soon. I saw Mouthfeel post about it. Very exciting stuff. Robin, how are you doing today?
Pretty good, Richie. How's everybody doing tonight?
Great.
Yeah, I got a new book coming out this spring, apparently. I just got the cover for it. We're working on that. Looks pretty awesome. It's called Ridge of High Pressure. And so I'm going to Mexico tomorrow. And so it put me in mind of this poem, which is from Ridge of High Pressure. It's called Epiphany in San Miguel. We missed the parade, the three kings riding in on horseback, but not the polite or sated children in a line that bent around El Jardín. Muffled in pink puffy coats, blue hats, yellow scarves, and fleecy tights, they huddled against their exhausted parents who wore that look of tight-lipped, thinned patience that comes with the holidays. This morning, the children received their presents, presented in their shoes, and brought by the three kings, for this is the 12th day of Christmas. The brass band walks away, their instruments dented and unpolished, the silver tuba almost gray, the only dull spot in the crowd. The three kings sit by the parroquia while the mayor jokes at the microphone. These pobrecitos y sus padres want the photos to begin. Each child will sit in the lap of a king and say, thank you for the gifts. Gracias para los regalos. And the kings will say, child, you are a miracle. Niño, eres milagro. All right, so it's always fun to spend a holiday in Mexico, and that's one that we don't, we at least here we do it a little bit, but they really do it up there. And this one is also from Ridge of High Pressure about the weather, the winter weather here. Wintry mix in the Chihuahuan Desert. No one predicted a noon wind chill of 19 degrees. Fog and snow showers. Even now on television, the forecasters admit their models don't show it, while I hear snow crunch against the window pane like sand swung by a dust devil in the spring. All day I have watched it pile up around the palm tree and on its fronds, a witness to the snow-tipped pines, to the vanished Sierra de los Mansos, socked in by desert snow. The models say it will end in 7 minutes at 1 p.m., but I don't believe it for 1 minute. I believe that visibility is down to 1 mile, that wind gusts are up to 35 miles per hour. I'm going to drive the Subaru and wear my snow boots, then snuggle up and do Sudoku. Except that the shepherd dog wants his walk, even though snow slants like flecks of white paint artists dab in the eyes of portraits. The light on this fog-bound day, snowing in the freezing Chihuahuan Desert. We've had some days like that this winter. And then this one is also from that winter, called Freezing Fog in the El Paso Desert. The fog that crystals on my face as we walk in the morning weather hides the road. The fog that knocks on the window pane in the gray veil of a wizard who doesn't know which riddle to ask. The fog that grows during the night like a mushroom. The fog that descends, fully formed but diaphanous, yet substantive enough to make the mountains disappear. Closes Trans Mountain Road. I ask the fog the oldest riddle I know. What is it to see and what is it not to see? I see what hides everything. My kitty's attacking me. There you go, kitty. You can't attack me. And then because I'm leaving tomorrow, I thought I'd do this one from Rilke, Rainer Maria Rilke, and it's the Sonnets to Orpheus, the second series, number 13. Be before all departing, as though it were behind you, like the winter going out just now. For among winters is one so endlessly winter that your overwintering heart can barely pull through. Be dead always in Eurydice, rise and sing, stand and praise, climbing to your purest frequency. Here, with what's winking out, be ruled by entropy, be a ringing glass that shatters as it rings. Be and know full well the condition of non-being, the endless ground of your inner shiver shimmering, that you may fulfill to the utmost your one moment. To all things spent and to the dumbstruck and mute, multiplied from nature's fullness to the unsayable sums, number yourself joyfully added and zero out the balance. So thanks, everybody. And as usual, Tumble Words is rolling on 1 p.m. on Saturdays, Mountain Time. Yeah, contact Kit for the link via Facebook. And yeah, that's what I have. And like I say, I'm going to Mexico tomorrow, so I'll come back with new poems.
Ah, gotcha. I always the best, right? Thing to come up with. I came
Yeah.
back with souvenirs, if you will. No, have a great trip. Thank you so much, as always, for reading. And I always love hearing that powerful kitty roar in the background of support. You know, alrighty then. What is up, everyone? We are online. If you do want to sign up, we do have some spaces. We have a link in the description below. But for now, we're going to go ahead and keep going on. And next up, we're going to go from EP to BK. That's right. We're going to tune in to Far Beyond, based out in Brooklyn tonight. And he's going to share a little bit of hip hop, or as he put it in the form, rapidy rap loops. Go and take it away, man.
We'll see. I didn't really rehearse for this. But I guess I live a life always in perpetual practice. So if you bear with me, I'm going to try to do some things a little on the fly. But I think I wanted to start with something that I know, or I think I know. So let's see how this goes. All right. Oh, sorry about that. Here we go. So, El Paso. Hello, I'm coming to you from Brooklyn, and now I can see you. So, here we go. Let's just work on a level. Just work on a level. Give me thumbs up, how does it sound? Can you hear every word? Can you hear the beat? Yo, come on. Imagine what it take to leave it all behind. Leave what you call home, let go of all belongings. Imagine what it take to walk 1,200 miles. One child at your waist, at your side, lead the other, feel the hunger. Freedom, hunger, determined for a better life, better future, better hunger, feel the hunger. Lack of freedom, right here off the top hit, cause you know we just got to wonder. Off the rhythm, off the stale, it's not slumber. Far beyond dimension, gotta get it gone. Time for me to do it, cause I gotta keep it on. Fire off the rhythm, cause you take it far beyond. Off the rhythm, off the top, just as I get it. Look right here, cause you know I've got to spit it. It is about the movement and the masses. The masses is the movement and the masses. Movement all across the land, travel miles over mountains with family and dignity. Movement, migrants on the move in search of safety, opportunity. No human is illegal. Movement, this 5 ancient passes, discipline and paces, resolve human agency. Movement. All right. Piece 1, I kind of forgot it midway, but I had to go with the energy, go with the movement. That was kind of a wait, did that come through? Maybe not.
Wait, was that a sound effect?
Yeah, I don't know. Did you hear it? I guess not, right?
No.
Oh, that's rough. That's rough. I'll have to figure that out one day. I should have it. Well, sorry about that. Let me try something else. And this is something that, so as Richie says, I'm blessed to be able to do some work overseas. Technically, one of my jobs is as a cultural diplomat for the United States Department. So I've done work with American Music Abroad, which is a lineage of the jazz ambassadors. You know, Charlie, who went? You had Duke Ellington, you had Dave Brubeck, you had Dizzy Gillespie, were cultural ambassadors during the Cold War, which is kind of crazy when you think about particularly black jazz musicians going out there in the 60s talking about their experiences, Americans doing this culture. It was very interesting stuff. So got a chance to go to Liberia. And this is kind of something I'm working on that, so it was kind of a freestyle, but let's see here. So John Coltrane did a piece called Liberia. this. Once again, off the top of the head, 'cause we just got to get, whether we take it off the beat, take it off the rhythm, make it here complete. That kid's incredible. Rhythm off the sound, the freshness is indelible. Need to find different words to speak about the rhythm that we speak. Rhythm off top of the head. I've been doing this for weeks. Been traveling for weeks. Out of the country, just need to speak. Think about the poverty in a land governed by American principles. It's kind of a crazy country, right? A country that says it's independent, but in fact it was conquered, colonized by freed slaves. Conquered by freed slaves, right? Independent. What does that mean? Because they're still indigenous, trying to find peace, find ways to continue in this space, the place of peace to be. Or perhaps it's like a movement. We just got straight to see. We just got straight to believe. We just got 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 to believe. Come on. Mark by changes, rearrange it, respect the phases. We do praise it. We be critical in this age of digital production. Often pitiful, MCs coming criminal. Emptiness in the industry, alterized and famously. That's the main messiah. Rappers fighting aimlessly. Mixtape the intention. Every record must be gold. Measuring commodities, sell your music and your soul. It's a justification for not blowing up. All across the shit, rappers got me throwing up. I need dollars, so come on, tip the cup. Got bills to pay, should I get it all up? Got bills to pay, should I get it all up? Got bills to pay, should I give it all up? Got bills to pay, should I give it all what? Yo, come on, yo. Lost stage right, this lecture at hand. I practice this art to make sense and understand. Memory collective, collaborate, community. Capitalize the cultural, I'm ready for opportunities. Zeros to my network, that's a neutral global network. Heroes on my network, favorite MCs on my friends. Zeros to my bank account would be kindly welcome. The Nero Etham Vito superhero saves the clan. Got much to say, so we gotta work it out. Got much to say, all you in the virtual land, raise your hand to the crowd. Yo, raise your hand to the sky. Yo, we just got to keep it moving off the rhythm, cause you know we just got to keep it moving. Much love to Marrufo for holding it down. El Paso, BWOMS, Brooklyn to BK. From BK to El Paso to BK, the bridge, the Brooklyn Bridge, across the land across the bridge, what's on the ridge. Or perhaps we just got to spit off the rhythm and just give this gift. Thank you very much for all the time. That's just what I'm gonna do, and I'll leave it right there. There's a lot of vomit in the space, but thank you, Richie. I appreciate it. Much love.
Dude, thank you, man. That was like, dude, that was a show, man. That was a show in its own right. Before you take off though, oh man, look at this fancy camera work.
I'm not going anywhere. I want
to. A lot of people were seeing that for the first time, you know, and you got this awesome setup. How can people connect with you and see what you have going on? Because I know you put out a lot of content. You have a couple different shows, and man, I already would love to see like
so
yeah, go for it, man.
That's my name, Far Beyond. If you hit me up on Instagram, on Facebook, on my website, if you Google Far Beyond, FARBEON, you'll come across me. So far, I've been lucky to get everything Far Beyond. I'm sure there's going to be something out there that gets bought that I need to have a profile on, and they'll be like Far Beyond 01. But yeah, Far Beyond. Instagram is probably the best way.
Dope. Awesome, man. Appreciate that so much. And then of course you have a couple productions that you do, and
yeah,
do you have any videos? Yeah.
So like this year's been kind of crazy. I did a virtual program with young artists in Uganda, young artists in Indonesia, an American Music Abroad virtual program with artists from like where we had Lebanon, Tunisia, Botswana, Kazakhstan, Pakistan, and India, and Egypt. And we write music, we'd write a song together and we make a music video, and it's all been done virtually. So then this Liberia program that I just got back in the green room, I was telling you about, through American Music Abroad, I did a virtual program with artists in Liberia, and we wrote and recorded a 5-track album. And now I just got back from Liberia for the celebration of the record. So if you search Far Beyond, you'll come across my stuff, but there's also a label I call Cypher Connect. And if you search Cypher Connect on YouTube, you'll find our music videos. I'm this year finally going to start working on putting together, some Far Beyond solo stuff, because again, I get caught up in the workshop of it all, and just the production. I mean, I'm a producer in that world, but now I kind of want to maybe find a producer and like really work on telling a story. A team of songwriters, right? So.
Dope, man. Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Thanks for making it on, man.
Yeah, no,
Always good to catch up like
excited
that.
for the rest of the show.
Hell yeah, awesome. And also I apologize. This is sometimes in the rare occasion where it's into like also the BWOMS online open mic / podcast, where I just can't help myself from asking questions. The inner DD wants to be the DD to your Dexter and like, ooh, what does that button do? Because I see all sorts of flashy buttons and fancy setups. So it'd be really cool if in the future, not on a show, but I'd even love to watch a video where you do like a tour of like your setup and what you got going on.
I'm up for it, because it's taken me a while. Like when I knew I was going to do these virtual programs, like I've done a lot of research to create this kind of like seamless space, and I'd love to share. If anyone wants information, hit me up.
Awesome, man. I dig that. Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm glad Finbell loved that. Yeah, Dexter's Lab. Remember that? PD. What does that button do? Alrighty then. We're gonna keep going. Also, by the way, shout out to everyone watching online right now. Love you guys. Glad to have you tuning in. We're gonna go ahead and keep this online open mic going, and we're gonna go to Tacoma, Washington. And I just saw him recently. He was in El Paso for the holidays. He got to perform at Old Cheap Dog Brewery. He's got some music on the way himself. I love everyone's got some stuff coming out. They're working. I love it. I love to see it. So let's go ahead and welcome back to the show Damian Smith. What is up, Damian? Welcome back to the show. Good to have you.
Hello. What's going on, guys?
Let's see. There you are.
Hey, Far Beyond. That was dope, man. I like the vintage jazz with the house stabs, and then the flip to dance hall. That was really cool, man. Shout out to you. So myself, I'm a rapper and a producer. But today I'm not gonna be rapping over the instrumentals. I just wanna let the lyrics speak for themselves and get some feedback if y'all are willing. I have two songs I'm gonna say the lyrics to. The first one is it's a two-parter. It's called Happy Home / Stepdad. And it goes like this. School lets out, parents in the parking lot. They don't have to work late. My dad has a good job. I get in the car and they ask about my day. I feel like a star because they hang on my every word. I know that they care. My parents love me. This is how life's supposed to be. I hear a lot of dears and honeys, but I never hear any arguing. They make it to all of my games, and they're the loudest ones cheering with no shame. And when my sisters bug me, I don't get the blame. My dad's kind of lame, but he's the coolest. I could tell him anything and he listens. He doesn't tell me to man up. He says life's tough, but it's worth living. This feels like a dream. I hope it's not written. And that's the first half. All right, so now I'm waking up from my dream, and here comes the stepdad part. I curse a little bit in this too, so bear with me. I don't know if that bothers anybody or not. It bothers some people, but all right, check it out. My stepdad was just as fucked up as me. His dad was in prison for molesting his sister when she was a teen. Therefore, he didn't have his dad, so how was he supposed to raise me? Looking back, he did his best, but he didn't know what he was doing. A young man in his 20s dating a single mother with 3 kids. What was he thinking? I'm 25 now, and I know I'm not ready for that responsibility. I'm showing him empathy. As a kid, I was on my mother's side, but now I know it takes 2 to fight. Neither was right. My mother was trying to find love, and at times it led her to bring around the wrong guy, and she didn't know her father neither. So how would she know that not having a consistent father would affect my growth? I got real close to one guy she dated. He showed me how to play ball and to not let girls give me hickeys. But when he was done playing daddy, he moved away to another city. That's the first one. That's the first one. Appreciate it, guys. I got one more. It's for a song I released called Secrets. And I feel like, especially in today's like social media age, everybody wants to tell you everybody's business and you know, startup drama and things like that. So I made a song just about how important it is to keep a secret. And this one has two parts as well. All right, it goes like this. Give me a secret and I will keep it. I will take it to my grave. No kiss and tell. This ain't show and tell. I have respect and got different taste. Some dudes missing out because they can't keep their mouth shut. You could have her so down, but you want to be like, yeah, you know her. We fucked. Shut the fuck up and be grateful for their trust. I've been told things that can fuck you up, but I know they needed an ear, so I listened up. Van Gogh'd it and incinerated it. Sharing secrets can be like sharing diseases, but fuck it, we're human. We need friendship and to purge our sickness. Be careful who you mess with. 6ix9ine, you can be a witness. No disrespect. If you don't learn, you will follow their footsteps. Keep those secrets, but don't keep it when it comes to success. It's first half. All right, second half. There's things that I will never tell a soul about. Not everyone needs to know everything you think about. We're not our thoughts, but what we do. So don't trip if you think about shit that you'll never do. Some thoughts like to intrude. They're so rude. Let them pass by and they won't bother you. Find a friend, find someone that you can talk to. It doesn't make you weak when you discuss your issues. I know it seems like common sense, but my male bravado has me pent up sometimes. I don't follow my advice sometimes. Secrets in my rhymes, if I bring it to the light, I can increase my shine. Best kept secret from the 915. Be careful who you bleed around. There's a time and place to give a key. Make sure they don't pick your lock and give your secrets. That's it. Thank you. If you guys want to check my music out, it's Damien Smith Music on Instagram. I'm gonna drop a link in the chat. Thank you guys for your time and for your attention, and you know, best of luck to everybody else tonight. I'm out.
All right, thank you so much, man. Glad you can make it on. Let's see. Yeah, look forward to that. By the way, guys, any links you drop in the Zoom chat, I'll go ahead and forward that on YouTube as well, just so peeps on there can also get a look at it. It's Damien Smith, everyone. We're gonna go ahead and keep going. We got a pretty good list going on, so let's keep this momentum going. We are gonna come back to El Paso, and I believe I'm actually gonna be performing with him at the end of the month in Las Cruces for a Lizard Poetry show. I think, but he's gonna share some stuff for us tonight, some stuff he's been working on, some short work in poetry. Let's go ahead and bring back Alan to the stage, who's been here now for a good consecutive weeks. How you doing, man?
I'm doing pretty good, Richie. Thank you for introducing me. And I think I'll go to the Lizard Poetry on January 18th. So you might be able to catch me there. For tonight, I'm just gonna do like a couple quick ones, some stuff that I've written. This first one is called My Publisher Wanted Another Poem. And just for like a little history, there's this quest. I mean, there's this online game I play called RuneScape, and then there's this quest that you have to do to get this like really cool weapon. It's called Monkey Madness, and it's about your character being sent to the island of monkeys to broker peace, and you basically become an ambassador. But there's this monkey island, and it's just kind of like the inner contraptions in the way that like human what is it, like human capitalism, not capitalism, but like the way that monkeys work the same way as people, pretty much. So this one is called My Publisher Wanted Another Poem, but it starts like this. Monkey Madness. Truly crazy, Totally apeshit. Nothing is as bananas as realizing that bananas don't exist. The curved curvaceousness of a yellow appendage sticking out of a tree 30 feet in the air is enough to warrant the likes of a monkey to become deadless. A tree seed, or perhaps a fruit tree seed pushed into the ground by a monkey moving on with its monkey business, is enough to create an umbrella and shade for a future monkey to do the same. A banana tree is 2 bananas for me to comprehend. You have to climb to the top of the thing and pull off one of the bananas from the top of what I assume to be branches. Yeah, bananas grow in bunches, but to climb to the top of the ladder or the actual tree is a feat that requires not 1 set of shoes, but 2 pairs of hands. I'd like to reintroduce the monkey man, defined as by Captain Black as a handler Jack or Captain Morgan before the Baileys is brought out to be seen as King Kong. What do the ape have in his hand? A banana. King Kong was holding a banana in his hand the entire time. See, I don't get it. How people can watch a fruit tree grow upwards of 9 months or 10 years, however long it takes to grow the fucking thing, but when it finally decides to spurt leaves, they're yellow and people want to strip them of it. What is absolutely bananas is what people decide to do with the leaves. They use hooks and things to pull them off of the trees, then watch the distance between the bunches and the ground and wait for that fateful impact. But in that mesmerizing silence and watchful gaze hates gets lost somewhere when striking the bunch and gravity doing its thing leads to palming a handful of bananas. But people don't get it. They don't understand the figment of a monkey walking past something on the ground or realizing that being too high up is actually quite liberating. They don't get that beating their chest is better than having sex, but if that's the case, I don't think they use bananas. Oh, and one other thing. A monkey doesn't need a banana to fucking beat your face and kill you. It'll use the banana as an excuse, but if you ever get in its way, the monkey will gladly remind you just how bananas can get up in here. See, I fucking lost it. I had the idea of a monkey being real cool and coming across a banana seed and planting it in the soil, and the seed would do its thing within the soil and turn into a tree after all that time so I can bring forth more bananas for the growing monkey community. And then something real nice, sweet, and poetic would happen where the lone monkey finds himself in a banana. And if that's the same thing, then that little monkey guy totally plowed that monkey gal. See, the story was a metaphor for late stage capitalism. Planet of the Apes. The apes move on to create a community and then turn the art of banana making into a business. The trade is passed on from father to son, where the father is allowed to totally disregard the fun and have the little chap follow him on his daily so that he can see what made him and how the same making is already in process. The bananas aren't even a thing anymore. They never existed in the first place. Now it's just about how many banana dollars the monkey can bring home and how often he'll be able to look at his wife. Fuck. In fact, the whole banana business is kind of shit lately, what with the increase in prices and the continued labor force and the sheer lack of banana producing capability. Most bananas are processed. Nowadays, daddy's too drunk off of banana juice and preservatives that he's decided what he wanted to name his kid. That he hasn't decided what he wants to name his kid. Ook was not overjoyed, but he surely wasn't impressed. Bananas, isn't it? He thinks to himself. This mechanism we live in. Bananas, bananas, bananas. The monkeys yells as the erroneous helicopters fly overhead, dropping boxes the size of bunches. The monkeys scramble to where the boxes will be meeting the ground. As some land in front of them, the monkeys use their monkey crowbars and pop open the tops. They inspect the insides. They leaf through the crates and there appears to be nothing left. Bananas. Just as he suspected. Fuck, man. I forgot where I was going with this. I actually forgot where I was going with this. I had ideas of planting banana seeds and paying homage to the Planet of the Apes where the monkeys are in charge, but now I've realized that it's 12:12 p.m. and it's on 12/22/22, and I'm fucking tired of writing. I just want to get to sleep. But sometimes these words pull me better than my bed does. Fucking stupid, isn't it? The lack of sleep is at least. Anyways, if I can think of another fucking spout or spurt about a little monkey placating and keeping himself from getting some sleep, because I'm pretty sure that's already a book. But look, there, above the mantelpiece. You see that? That right there is where your mother and I got it in. It was fucking crazy. We didn't even use a banana. That's how you were born, Nuke. And that's the story that I'll pass on to you so you can see, so that you can pass on to your children someday. The dream of being alive. The dream of having a wife. The dream of having a life. The dream of growing your own little monkey business and being able to run amok wherever you please and knowing that if you can't bring in the bananas, they'll can your ass, man. Shit, it'll be paste. There'll just be another monkey face in the fucking monkey world, and you don't expect any help from me or your uncles. Don't expect any help from me or your uncles. This isn't the place for that type of shit. You either eat the bananas or watch them get planted. If you ain't planting seeds, you can't have a banana with me. Think about it, Luke. Think about it. Don't worry. You're a good kid. You'll get it. Fucking bananas, isn't it? Nah, it's monkey bananas. And that's the end of that one. I'm probably
Yeah,
just
bro. That was really good, man. That was really fucking good. I'm sorry.
thank you. I appreciate that. These next two ones, I don't know what the I don't know which these are just gonna be like some short ones. So sorry. I'm like trying to. I'm looking for. I should have like done this before. Okay. So this one is called like Crescent Doves Do. Crescent doves don't exist, but I heard they do. They like to gather around and peck softly at the ground, hoping to unearth a pebble or maybe something better. I've seen them once too. Yeah, they flew down real quick. They flew down real quick in big fell swoops and then decided that they should move. They're real nice too. They'll walk right up to you. You don't have to shoo them away if you don't want to, but it's best to let crescent doves do what crescent doves do. I'm not telling you, I'm just telling you what they told me to. What they told me to. And then that's the end of that one. And then, okay. And then this one is just, I've been writing a lot on birds. I guess I'm in that bird writing stage, but this last one is going to be called What Happened to the Bird, ... poetry. What happened to the birds? One day they up and left, decided that they didn't like the planet and redesigned their methods of transportation, that is. They decided that maybe it would have been better off if they didn't have to commute all the time. So they found someplace else to sit. Got tired of waiting in line, so they dipped. And that's it. Thank you guys. Thank you everyone.
Right on. Thank you, man. Alan, and he doesn't have anything really yet for you to connect with, but maybe soon enough. Alrighty then. I love that in the Zoom chat and the YouTube chat, like the same people who made the same joke about this shit is bananas, BAN, made the same joke, are married. And they're miles apart right now. So you can't say they collaborated on that. They just made the same joke. I love that. All right. Yeah, great minds think alike. Exactly. All right, Alan, thank you so much for joining us. We're gonna keep it going to another poet who has performed in El Paso, but right now is joining us in Wonder Lake, Illinois, and he has been for a while. He's got a song and some poetry. It's always a pleasure when he gets to make it in because he's just a dynamo in his own right. Let's go ahead and welcome to the stage Nico Kim. What's up, man? Oh, we got you muted.
Yeah. Hey, y'all. So, man, that bananas poem was freaking amazing, bro. Like, I wish I could like go off of it, but I have like a whole set in mind, so I'm just gonna go off of that. But like, I just really want to say, man, that was an awesome poem, man. All right, starting with the song. She held the world upon a string, but she didn't ever hold me. She spun the stars on her fingernails, but she could never win me. 'Cause she couldn't ever catch me. She said she won the world at a carnival, but she could never win. See, I know I messed it up. Because she couldn't ever catch me. Anyway, I know why. Because when I look in her eyes, I just see the sky. When I look in her eyes, well, I just see the sky. I don't love you, I'm just passing the time. You could love me if I knew how to lie. But who could love me? I am out of my mind. Throwing a line out to sea. To see if I can catch a dream. All right, anyway, so I've got like 4 really short poems. And it starts with, swirled constellation, marble sky, diamond. I can't maintain my concentration, but there's no place I'd rather find that I'm in. I'm finding that my diamonds grind away my smile, all the while my childish mindset makes me bare my teeth. Motif after motif, motivating my blanketed snow sheet thought processes. Blank backdrop snap off, making me laugh off inconsistency. Inconsistent me, making the story more interesting to say the least. I beast through the best parts of me, trying to fulfill some heart-shaped prophecy placed in my head in the box instead of keeping it buried underground without sound, but by some heartstrings being plucked. One look melts my knees under me, and I have to maintain some kind of countenance that elucidates strength. Forgive me, but I'd prefer not to. Top peak interest peak. Top peak interest peaked. There's a mountain decline. Quick slip and fall, simply weak. Upper body's on the decline. I want to whine, but should pump out a 50 set. Better to pour my soul into effort than stew in regret. Mangled. I don't find myself broken. I've been mended quite well. Perhaps I'm a tad lame, but definitely strange as far as I can tell. Why would Icarus wings type falls make Nicholas Kim inspired bounces result in anything other than a few cracked heads or heels? My feeling is credits due to want to lose it all. But what is the use of climbing eternally up a mountain without learning the proper way to fall? What it sounds like when I don't choose push-ups. Sweet niceties don't make relationships work out in these parts. Being a shitty man seems to be the only way to gain pole position with some bitch. These chicks have 6 different baby daddies and act like their addy is unexplored territory. Lawfer. I can't believe I let myself feel tortured. Good ethics were never this area's finest suit. Why the fuck was I trying to suit in? Hearts aren't moved by smiles here. Diamonds, no. Brown stars shine most bright out here. Back to old reliable. If you're not on my level or chasing to be, get the fuck out my line of sight. I've got places to be. Nice 3 baby daddies you got there. Looking for a 4th? Because I don't need any more friends. And then the last one. Yeah. I guess I could have trigger warning there. I'm sorry. I don't know if that was too much. Anyway, but as an ass, I suffer from hoof to mouth syndrome. Knowing that I'm a tall glass to take in, forgive me as I distance myself for when I fall. I don't overfludge. Excuse me. Wow. Rewind. As an ass, I suffer from hoof to mouth syndrome. Knowing that I'm a tall glass to take in, forgive me as I distance myself. For when I fall, I don't overflood you with what makes me, because I am definitely aware that my infatuation has a tendency to have me drown in my own feet. Get it?
Like that, get it? Do you have anything to promote, man? Social media, anything that we can follow you?
No, I got one poem published. I'm pretty proud of it. Out in it's a civil rights poem book. I Can't Breathe, Volume 2, out of Bloomfield College. Their literary magazine out of Bloom College. I got a poem published out of them. It's on Amazon. Yeah, shouts to Paul Conqueso, Paul Latour. Exactly. Good looks, Ken.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah, if you got a link for that, we can also put that on the YouTube channel as well. Thank you, Nico. Yeah, shout out to Paul Conqueso. He'd come through for a while, enough so that when we had a in-person open mic, there was a dude who watches the shows, and he's like, "Oh yeah, Paul Conqueso." He like got to throw him out by name. I also appreciate him inviting me to read for Latinx Heritage Month at Bloomfield College. That was super cool. Through the Neo Rican, it's kind of like a little check mark off the list. Lee read as well. That was cool. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and keep going, everyone. Once again, this is online open mic. We got some room here on the list, but we keep adding people as well, which is great. But right now we're gonna go ahead and go to New Jersey, NJ, where we have the Chameleon Poetic. Gonna share a little something. Terry Rose Dirtson, what's up? How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm excellent. Thank you. Go and take it away.
Okay, I got some old ones. A little flummy. Okay. Letting go of your memory has never been easy. Unrelenting pain leaves a mark on my soul. What if you were my soulmate? But you were too damaged to be open to that. We met for a reason. There are no coincidences. My life is forever changed by your presence. Our son was birthed from a mixture of stardust and hellfire. Our lusty afternoons were destroyed in those flames. When your eyes burned out, sorry, two black holes that repelled me with the force of 1,000 stars, the same that drew me like water from the well that became parched. Where was the water now? Left dry. I cried. The tears filled the empty places. So that's that piece. A little heavy. Next, this is a little bit lighter. The simplicity of an uncluttered mind, the directness and fleeting emotions that were never allowed to take root, the absence of a violent bone, the sheer happiness derived from the most mundane, at least at first glance, a companion for life with unwavering devotion, a body that is chiseled from stone, never needing to diet, a lover of music and dance. We kissed under the oldest grandfather of a tree that came with a guarantee to live a love successfully from the ones that came before. We were magnets in the past, partners forever in this life and the last. Should I read one more?
No, it's up to you. You got some time. You don't have to either.
I think I will. I just have just one more, kind of like a statement, public service announcement. I like public service announcements. Although this one's not as sterile as my last public service announcement. All right. Now that I am full, what am I filling myself with? If I could just speak. I fill myself with poetry, with the words that bring comfort, with the words that bring joy. Past history trauma not affecting me anymore. With these words, I am the writer of my own story. I hold the pen to change the narrative. Hell, I can rewrite history. Wait, not like it has been convoluted in the past, but to my own voice, and to finally say all the things I was never permitted to before. There was a time when I found no shelter in my skin. How did that even begin? I guess with critical commentary about what society called pretty. It took my whole life to get here, saying no to them and yes to me. Thank you.
Awesome. Tell it's I know you've been here like pretty consistently, but let's say you got new people tuning in. How can they support and follow your work online, especially your book?
Yeah, Chameleon Chronicles, people. That's my first poetry book I wrote last year. It's published with Red or Green Books. So if you're interested in a copy, you can either hit me up on social media, on my name on Facebook, Teresa Rose Dirtson, or The Chameleon Poetic on Instagram, or you can just go on the Red or Green website and order the book. That's the only way you can get it right now. I'm trying to get it listed on Goodreads, and that's taken forever and a day. And I haven't really been out there pounding the pavement to see if I could get it anywhere else. So that's me I'm not really having the time to do that right now. But it is available in those ways that I mentioned. So get the book. You won't be sorry.
I will take a second to mention right here that people who have books, if as long as you've got like the Library of Congress number in the book, if the publisher does that, which I know Red and Green Books does, you know, you can call your library and request books. And when people request books, libraries tend to buy them. And so that's a free way you can support sometimes fellow writers, is just to ask your library to order their books.
That is a true public service announcement right there. Another thing is I did a book talk at my library with my book. And if I wanted to donate the book, they would probably take my book. And they also paid me $200 for that book talk. So, you know, lula. There's another public service announcement for anybody that's looking to, you know, promote their book.
Hell yeah, perfect. I love that. And thank you, Mike Sindler, for that announcement there, that PSA, as I wrote there in the chat. Thank you, Terry Rose Dirtson. Check out her book. And also, there's a whole, you know what? I'm just remembering, I want to give a shout out to Nick Paleologos. I haven't seen him in a while here. I know he's very, very busy. He also does Write to the Mic that he hosts, writing workshop on online mic. But yeah, he's also out of New Jersey. So since we just had Terry in here, I'm like, you know what? Hey, shout out to Nick Paleologos. Miss you, man. Miss you, bud. All right, let's go ahead and keep it going. We're gonna go from the East Coast back to the US Southwest, and we're gonna have a couple back-to-back EP peeps, El Paso peeps. And if you guys have been here since day one, he's been here since day one. Hence, he is Mr. Monday Night. Let's go ahead and welcome back on the stage to the mic, Mr. Kit Wren. What's up, Kit? Go and take it away.
What's up, me? What's up, Richie? Two of mine, two very unformed, unfinished of mine, and then we'll continue with the short story that I began reading yesterday by Karen Russell. Which maybe that's where the bird thing came from a lot. Although actually you were doing bird things last week before I started this, so maybe not. Anyway, that's besides the point. Okay, mumble transition. A friend of mine stayed at the mic after I left. He was free to enjoy himself, and he did enjoy himself. But he was also pumping for information. He had seen another performer try to big-time me and wanted to know where everyone stood. What were the battle lines? When he got home, giddy with drink and chisme, he debriefed me like he was back in Intel. The comics all think, he said, as we do, that this is funny as shit. And he needs to quit being a baby. I won't ask anyone to take a bullet for me. I'm not comfortable with that as a metaphor for obvious reasons, but that my friends, unprompted, with no mandate or instructions, take it on themselves to work as spies and agitators. It's pretty cool, right? So, punks and backbiters of the world, comedians especially, walk through this world with caution. You don't know who my friends are, and I don't control them. I might not even be aware of the moment I have been avenged. I think we ended up making that guy quit. So that's one for us. The point is an eventual order, but what if we never get there? What if we step on a rusted nail? What if we step on two rusted nails at the same time? If chaos is the natural order, then how did we decide that there is a natural order? It feels sometimes like I am in a perpetual rummage sale, trying to get 85 cents for deleterious phrases I cannot possibly find a use for. Please take this childish impression of love used lightly. Here is a tire that presumably was part of an entire vehicle once, free or best offer. Preserving the second order evidence of my life in a way that is not itself a life. Is that what poetry is? It might be. In poetry, I find a compromise between chaos and order, between the ego that wants to immolate and the id that wants to watch. And part 2 of an undetermined amount of parts of The Ghost Birds by Karen Russell. The fires spread to every continent. The air turned a peppery orange, making each unfiltered breath a harrowing event. A straightforward solution for any winged creature would seem obvious. Climb higher. But many birds that headed for the cleaner, thinner air responded to extreme hypoxia just as their human counterparts did when moving from sea level to the Rockies and the Himalayas. Millions died from clotting blood. They fell from the skies in trickles, then torrents. The variegated laughing thrush, the blue-fronted redstart. Obituary writers for nature could not keep up. Human beings, with our infernal ingenuity, adapted. We found ways to survive the death sentence we delivered to our gasping cohabitants of this planet. Nobody I know is traveling to the future anymore. Not Earth's future. Some diehard optimists enlist as sailors on the trillionaire's intergalactic fleets. My sister Dolores signed her twins up for 8-year terms as indentured servants on the floating starships. Of course, they call it something else, you know. Emmy and Luna are joining the Star Guild. Air has become damn expensive in the last decade. I hug my daughter tighter to me, flooding her respirator. I want Starling to stay on Earth with me. I worry that she is losing her dreaming eye, the conjuring eye that is hers alone, the one that can see beyond appearances into the ultraviolet. It meant a lot to me that Starling had agreed to come on this trip. Now that she's a teenager, it's hard to get her unhooked from her hololight, and even harder to get her to take an interest in nature. We've had a version of the same argument for years now. Dad, I'm fine with a world without birds. Anyhow, if I want to see one, I just ask the hololight to show me a flamingo, or whatever I'm into. A flamingo. Exactly, show me a flamingo. I say, then one appears with its weird pink candy cane neck in our living room, and you can program it to fly, or have sex with another flamingo, or eat shrimp cocktail, or whatever you want to see. I swallowed. It is not the same. These are real birds that have gone on swimming and singing beyond extinction. They are independent spirits. 2 weeks before our trip, I'd learned on the Ghost Bird Alert Network that the tiny, intrepid ghosts of Vos swifts appeared to be following their old migration route down the Pacific Flyway, using the decommissioned chimneys of churches, military bases, and mental asylums as truck stops on the Sky Road to Venezuela. In late August, Wanda had counted 5,000 ghosts rippling like a single wing and dropping into the chimney of Old Northern State Hospital. Thermal readings suggested that 11,000 spirits would soon be haunting the chimney of Chapman Elementary School, their numbers peaking in mid-September and declining until the last stragglers left in early October. I told Yesenia that we'd be visiting my mother in La Grande. I told Starling to get familiar with her early birthday presents, an EMF detector and a pair of Nighthawk binoculars. Oh my God, Mom is going to give you so much shit if she finds out. What if Mom keeps calling Grandma and we're not there? What if Grandma breaks? Oh, she'll make it to Tuesday at least. Your grandma is an excellent liar. Yesenia refuses to let me take Starling on my birdwatching excursions. She barely lets me take her out on our balcony in full protective gear. When we first fell in love, Yesenia saw ghosts of golden-winged warblers and tundra swans, but gradually it seemed as though the power left her. Sometimes I wondered if Yesenia was afraid to see the ghost birds and had passed that fear down to our daughter. Certainly she resented the time I spent away from home waiting for the birds to materialize. Here is the beautiful thing, the maddening thing about paranormal birdwatching. You can make your eye available to them, but they have to choose that sky. People assume that to haunt means to stay rooted to one coordinate, like a star in heaven. or a murdered gangster pacing around his last Chicago hotel room. But if there is one myth the ghost birds have exposed, it's that death means stasis. The flocks we track continue to cross oceans and continents. The Paranormal Birding Society has been collecting fresh data on their distribution patterns, undead coloration, and evolving calls and songs. The Paranormal Birding Society sounds awfully official for what amounts to a rumor mill of several hundred people in 4 hemispheres. We are working to recruit new members. It's a challenge to convince people that the study of ghosts is worthwhile. Why collect data on the dead? A haunting is an opportunity, as Irene likes to say. Who could watch a murmuration of ghost starlings iridesce across the city skyline without wanting to know where the birds are going? And why? We have so much more to learn from them. How to pierce the smoke wall of our dulled senses and lift into the unknown. How to navigate the world to come. The very first paranormal bird watchers rarely understood what they were seeing and hearing, naively believing they'd spotted the last surviving snowy owl in a car wash rainbow, or heard the call of a living whippoorwill. In the years following the Great Death, grief-mad humans reported sightings of extinct birds on every continent. A bar-headed goose was allegedly seen by a spaceship captain 80 kilometers above the Indian Ocean. Gradually, as people accepted that the birds were gone for good, the Paranormal Birding Society took flight. But so many questions remain. The most profound of these is the one a child would ask. Why are the ghosts still here with us? I think I'll leave it there for now.
Sorry, I was writing to be continued in the chat very dramatically. And also, yeah, if you missed part 1, you can go to last week's episode and check it out. Until then, how can people catch you online?
All right, sing along if you know the words. Instagram at KitRenaway, Twitter at Kit Talk Sports, Coffee.com/KitRen for some freaky deaky essays about football. Find me on Facebook, easy enough. Find me on email, easy enough. Give me some money, it's easy enough. Tumble words. This Saturday, we will be at the auspices under the auspices, I suppose, of Kelly McMaster, our friend from Toronto, with a workshop, an expansion of the first workshop she did for us last year. That was about dance. This one will be focused on one choreographer on crystal pipe. And I'm looking forward to learning something because this is a subject that I don't know much about. But I know you and I will be in good hands this Saturday with Kelly. So please join in. And that's every Saturday, 1 o'clock Mountain. Message me if you want the code. And be prepared to write and to share.
That's all you need. That is all you need. Thank you, Kit. And all I know from him is that you can't fact check a dancer. Alrighty then. Let's go ahead and we're gonna stick around in the EP, and it's a treat. Someone that we have not seen in a while, so it's always great. Coming maybe with their usual set of something else. Anyway, I'll let you do your thing. Let's go ahead and welcome back to the big screen, back to the stage, Lee Martinez Soto. What is up, Lee? Welcome back.
Hello.
Hey.
My mic is working, right? Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I haven't used it in a long while. So I do have something old-ish, something new-ish, and then something borrowed as well. So I'll start with the old stuff. This is actually from a Tumbleworks workshop by Bale Larkin. So this is called A Familiar Curses. This was a long game played through the timelines of the generational familial divide, inflicting like second nature. I might as well have been patient zero for this cursed game of tag, and I won't ever know. My part playing on this game of guilt and shame will remain silent, a game within a game where I play hide and seek with my own past and memories, hoping against all hope that I was the last to be tagged it. Y pinto mi raya en la arena. We end the curse of this bloodline unspoken pact held by all the tormented, knowingly or unknowingly wanting to stop it from spreading. That was one. Then this one is a little bit longer, and just as a preface, We were doing a drive to San Antonio. There was a lot of mist, and we actually saw, if you're not familiar with it, look it up on YouTube. There's videos of it. It's called ball lightning. It's really freaking cool, but it was terrifying. So this is about that. White light bounces against droplets, refracted fluorescent light, encasing her frame in a gentle glow, diffused by the mist. She walks far away from the park trailers, the side of a rest stop wrapped in a fog, stopping only at the last street light just before the night engulfs her whole. She stays still, ghostly apparition pulled by tendrils of darkness, hands in pockets, phone, lighter, knife, keys, babe. A sigh of relief, device pressed against lips, she takes a long-winded drag before facing the maw of night, its echoing silence lightening her nerves. Eyes glance at feet, quickly dampening shoes frozen to the spot. Lightning. One drag, two drags. The smoke eats away the minutes. Lightning. She shivers, lightning, goosebumps, lightning, arms wrapped around her own shivering frame, hands rubbing against clothed skin to warm herself up. Lightning. Breath takes shape and it drifts through the wind. One last drag, the light goes off. Lightning. Eyes closed, she holds her breath. One, lightning. Two, lightning. Three, lightning. Smoke escapes her lips, eyes peeled off from the ground to face the mall once more, glued to where the idea of a horizon should be. Electric blues glow in the middle of the empty field, radiant vines reaching, pulling. It blinks at her, the floating orb held together by the mist and darkness. Every hair stands on end, feet warming up, readying to flee, heartbeat fastening, lightning. Tendrils reach from the sky to the ground, lightning. Tendrils pull like strings attached to flesh and bone, lightning. Last breath, perhaps the last bit of smoke once caught behind her throat, now swirls in the middle of an empty field, dissolved by the wind. And that one was my attempt at going back to fiction. And then the last one, just let me open it up in here. This is a translation. The poem is from Idea Vilariño, and this is the original and then my own translation. Todo es muy simple, mucho más simple, y sin embargo, aún así hay momentos en que es demasiado para mí, en que no entiendo y no sé si reírme a carcajadas o si llorar de miedo o estarme aquí sin llanto, sin risas, en silencio, asumiendo mi vida, mi tránsito, mi thing is so simple, too simple, and nonetheless, there are moments when it is too much for me, when I do not understand and I do not know if I should laugh out loud or if I should cry in fear or stay like this without tears, without laughter, in silence, taking over my life, my movement, my time. And that's it.
Alrighty then. Yes, and I love to say it. That was everything. Lee, how you doing? It's good to see you. And then you have your social media right there. People can follow you.
Yeah, here you go. So you can follow me on cadáveres_literarios on Instagram. It's actually the best one to follow me at. I'm also on Facebook as Lee Martinez Soto, but again, Instagram is the best. And I'll share my link to my Linktree. I do have a few publications already accepted, so I'm just waiting for them to release the links to them. But yeah, thank you.
Awesome. Congratulations. Glad you can make it on as always. Thank you. Lee Martinez Soto. Go follow them and check out the Linktree. Lee has one of the best Linktree games I've seen out there. You know, I need to go back and copy them actually. Now that I think about it. All right, let's go ahead and also shout out to Andres who's watching on YouTube. Miss you guys. All right. Our next, we're gonna go to the West Coast, San Francisco Bay Area. I'm a Gemini. Our next performer is a Pisces. What's your sign? Let's go ahead and welcome to the stage Finn Bell. What is up?
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, Richie. Everything's okay. Yeah, but no camera today because I put my PJs back on, folks. So 2 short pieces. This first one is called Gabi Na sa Kabukiran, which is nighttime in the countryside. When I lay my tender being down among the coos and flapping wings of the nighttime song, the fireflies light up the mulberry sky, curtain and makahiya bush with their courtship. I could still hear Chahin's voice creak with the patio rattan, smell of calamansi and tall white taper candles. The power is out again. The leaves of the mango tree rustle silver in the moonlight and shush us. Mga pamangkin, mga apo, matulog na kayo. Sweet dreams, safe harbors, sweet dreams. The solitary paniki calls out to us, Ek! Ek, I'm here! Dots the queso de bola moon with her tiny furred body and calls goodbye. Ek! Ek! Tomorrow, dust, my fine friend. Tender being, newborn soul, we do not yet see this big, frightening world rapping knuckles upon our small countryside sugar snow globe. Halcyon, we are not learned in the harsher ways. And second one, lunar love. When I fall off to sleep, do you chase your lunar rover fingers over the dunes of my rising and falling breast and hips? Find an outcropping of draped thigh hung in satisfied abandon over your waist to shelter for the night. Build a base camp there if you fancy. Hoist your bright banner aloft and stake deep in my native terra. You will memorize each phase of positions in arms and legs entwined. Torsos eclipsing one another, we wax and we wane. One another in an ancient pattern, we adapt our rhythm, frantic rush, and lulled rocking in our hips. Celestial bodies colliding, passing, we follow the teachings of the tide, the seasons, and the moon. Thank you.
Awesome. I love it. All those are great teachers, by the way. Thank you, Finn Bell. And if you have any links that you want to share along, let us know. I know you are shy today, but at the beginning of the show, we were talking about normalizing PJs, you know, but definitely if you guys are watching and you're not familiar somehow, Finn Bell has involved with so much great programming and support of, hold on, let me switch cameras there. There you go. That was so you guys on YouTube can see me. Yeah. Finn Bell's just involved with a lot of great programming from her Fincabulary events, Poetry Global Network. And then just yeah, once we get that link over, you guys can follow there. Thank you. Unless you want to promote anything.
This girl, there you go. This girl loves her pickle.
I love it.
that's what I got going on.
Oh, that's so pits are so great. Thank you. Awesome. Glad you're here with us today, as always. San Fran in La Casa. All right. Let's see. And I always appreciate your entries too when you sign up, the whole Pisces sign thing. Okay. What is up, everyone? We have a few more performers left, so I'm glad you guys are here with us. Tag people, share this link with people who you think should hear this. You know, support all the artists. We're gonna go ahead and go to Washington, DC. So like something we do often is we just jump coast to coast, time zone to that time zone, just like that. In fact, you might even be watching this in the future. And while I'm saying that, that's actually your present, but we're living in the past right now when you're hearing this. Alrighty then, let's go ahead and yeah, we Washington DC, where we have Mr. Ed Poetastic in the house. That's right, we know him. Ed, what's up, man? Make sure, yeah. I see you. I see your little box there. Sometimes in the past, Ed has gone to go like make food, take a nap. Calling Ed. All right. He might not be around the computer right now. So I'll shoot him a message and tell him that he's still got a space here. Otherwise, let's go ahead and keep the show rolling. We'll get Ed up after our next performer, who has we've missed him a couple more shows than he's usually around for. Los Angeles, he's got a book. In fact, I've got the book right here. Check it out.
Ooh, check it out.
Awesome. Yeah, so we got Tesla Somok in the house, gonna share some poetry, maybe some music. I'll let you go and do your thing, man. Take it away.
All right, thank you, Richie. Folks can follow me on Instagram under Gaseous 2019. Again, pick up a copy of my latest book, I Am Not Your Chihuahua. Great collection of poetry, The Bites Back. You can pick it up on Amazon. I have a new piece. I think I always have a new piece, but this one is particularly, I like this one particularly. P-22 and the Hunger of Territory. Quote, what does the frightened gaze of the animal mean to you? In other words, what do you see in the animal's gaze? I think you see precisely your own monstrosity, what philosophers don't want to see. Slavoj Žižek. Heya, 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 ngure. Heya, 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 ngure. Heya, 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 ngure. Heya, ngure. The Shumash welcome song brought to us by grandfather Semu. This song came to him in a dream, and when he woke, went outside, told everyone to gather and learn this song. It's the song that will bring the spirits in. This will be the first song the Shumash people will sing whenever they gather. Such was the song that welcomed P-22 on December 17, 2022. P-22 was greeted into the spirit world by the local Southern California First Nations. The mountain lion was euthanized by wildlife officials who captured him for chowing on chihuahuas, the high-end designer Hollywood Hills kind, from signs of hunger distress. This was a fate his ancestors had earned from mythic creation. A long time ago, mountain lion was a short, stocky person. I'm sure you didn't guess that. But he snuck up on Old Man while he slept and ate the remainder of his barbecue squirrels. When Old Man had tracked him down while he dreamt, otherwise Old Man would have never had caught him by the tail the way he was holding him. Back then, it was a much smaller tail. Mountain Lion was scared. Spare me, Old Man. You were full and I was hungry. Old Man was more angry than when he woke and had to travel so far on his hands and knees. I'll show you. I'll teach you. I'll fix you right now. Steal from me, will you? Steal from the man that made you? You night-prowling rascal, said Old Man. Old Man put his foot behind the mountain lion's head, pulled the tail hard and long, stretched him to great lengths, dragged him to the fire, rolled him into hot ashes, singeing his robe till it looked like burnt hair. He stuck the lion's nose against the burnt logs and blackened it. That's why his face looks as it does today. Old Man finally cursed Mountain Lion. It will take more food to keep you going. You will have to work harder. P-22 inherited the maintenance of territory to satisfy its new long and lean body. Ethology, the science of animal behavior, has heterotopic territory, a sociographical spatiality, which animals defend against competition, against animals of other species, using agonistic behaviors or less commonly physical aggression. In contrast to humans who edged out an excess of freedom from the need of territory. An unruliness, wild, irrational access to violent freedom, something animals don't have. The reason Kant says animals need no education and humans need to have their nature educated against excess, nature turned against itself. This is what animals see in humans. P-22 born circa 2010 on the western part of the Santa Monica Mountains, fathered by P001, an unnamed female, overcoming two major obstacles that even Angelino's peril, the 405 and the 101. Marking a territory of reservation, the smallest ever 9 square miles, too small for an adult cat, no dating. Griffith Park. The donation of magnet, miner, wife beater, Griffin J. Griffith, a mountain peak compared to Central Park in New York City and Golden Gate Park in San Francisco, but much larger, more wild, rigidly rugged, and home to the Hollywood sign. A feral felines rustic reservation, the remnants of marine and non-marine Neogene quaternary sediments from the lower, middle, and upper Topanga, as well as the Monterey and San Fernando formations, bedding, ossified fossils, striated stratas of late Miocene intrusive rock, cleaved and diked purple-gray, andesitic extrusive rock, geological faulting, that perhaps old man stretched, lean, blunted, like the mountain lion itself. The liberal lathering of California chaparral, the potpourri, southern coastal, purple, black, white sage scrub, the drought-resistant manzanita ironwood with their toothsome white-bonnet blossoms, the colonial camphor, eucalyptus, bay, and laurel trees, on real riparian gashes creating caustic pungent predicor of wasted woody oak acorns with their frothing worms, blotting black wild walnuts, and swarthy sworn furrow ferns. Aside from the 2016 Killarney koala killing at the LA Zoo, which the zoo refused to press charges against P-22 since only circumstantial evidence was available. P-22 was a civil citizen, nothing more than nocturnal noises or guttural growls and anxious triggers of bedroom barking from parvo pets. Sing your death song and die like a warrior going home, have prophesied the late Tecumseh. P-22's was not a warrior's wrath, but more a begrudgingly garish geriatric fate. P-22's advanced stage combined with chronic, debilitating, life-shortening conditions and the clear need for extensive long-term veterinary intervention left P-22 with no hope for a positive outcome, according to the California Department of Fish and Wildlife. That's that. So I don't have any music because just to update you. So the reason I've been missing in action is we have this what do they call it? This oceanic rivers or whatever, the weather rivers, and we have to do a lot of land prepping to make sure we hit it on time. And we have a lot of water. We have had more water than I've ever seen. So I had to spend a lot of time trying to handle that. So I'm back down to downtime now that everything is wet. And today it was very, very wet today. We got a lot of water. We had flooding warnings in LA, unheard of. Anyway, I have another piece. Is that okay?
Yeah.
All right. Magisteria. Magisteria. Quote, I am somehow less interested in the weight and convolutions of Einstein's brain than in the near certainty that people of equal talent have lived and died in cotton fields and sweatshops. Stephen Jay Gould. Fade in, exterior, Tenochtitlan, 1524 day. 3 years after the fall of Tenochtitlan, 12 Franciscans arrived in May 1524, ordered by Emperor Charles V, and with full papal bulls in the powers of Pope Adrian VI, even though he had passed in September 14, 1523. Their goal to evangelize the natives of the Indies. The news traveled wide and far as intended by the magisterium of colonial control. A Calconetzin canoe boy, a 13-year-old orphan from the last battle of Tenochtitlan on August 13, 1521, finishes his daily commerce of selling his vegetables. He merchandises from the Chinampas from Xochimilco. He breaches his canoe and heads to the remains of the temple of Quetzalcoatl, This was the place where he would go with his aged parents to venerate their ancestors. Today, it's located on 16 Guatemala Street, Mexico City, just on the eastern border of the city near the road to Toluca. An old Siwa Lama, old lady, sits selling latex offerings, the traditional offering for Quetzalcoatl. Akalkonetzin secretly approaches the old woman. She's looking down on her offerings of latex rubber, does not bother to look up. Akalkonetzin. Panolti netlaso matilistli no siwa ilama. Excuse me, beloved old one. Siwa ilama. Well, teotlak no telpoch. Good afternoon, my young boy. Akal is Siwa ilama. Saniman akan. He's nowhere. Akal konetzin. Kitos neki? What do you mean? Siwa ilama. Kamach intish tepetla. Don't you see what you don't want to see? The old lady shuffles her latex rubber balls, puts one at each cardinal corner, mumbles to herself. In Tlahuiztlampa, in Cihuatlampa, in Mictlampa, in Huitztlampa, the region of the east, the west, the north, and the region of the south. She holds the fifth ball in midair. A tear drops from her eyes and pulverizes the clay dust on her tilma, her apron. Siwa ilama. In Tlaltipac, the earth. This last ball represents the fifth sun. You probably don't know what the Huehuetlactoli, you don't know the Huehuetlactoli, the old stories. Acá konetzin, amo, no. Siwa ilama. It's no longer the time of Quetzalcoatl. He has sailed away, probably with the bearded Malinche to Huitztlampa, the south, Cortez's Guatemala expedition. The Calconetzin squats down and quietly whispers, Nemoa, go on. Siwa ilama. Do you want to hear more? If not, run away and hide under the priests who dress like old ladies with their skirts. You can go hide under their tenates. Acalconetzin. Nemoa, go on. Siwa ilama. When Quetzalcoatl went to the underworld to restore humanity from the fourth sun, it was Xolotl, his doppelganger, who got him into the underworld, Mictlampa. Siwa ilama drops the fifth ball, ponders it for a while in silence, then starts to heal the loose clay till it's buried. Siwa ilama. As a result, Xolo got into political problems with the other gods and he decided to go hide. Akal konetzin. Why did he go hide? Siwa ilama. He foresaw the coming of the bearded strangers, decided he would hide. Akal konetzin. Where is he now? Siwa ilama. I think you mean, what is he now? Akal konetzin. Nemoa. Go on. Siwa ilama. He decided to go live as an axolot in Lake Chalco, Acacuanetzin. Really? That is where I live now. How could I go talk to him? Siwa ilama. He's very shy, but I'm told there's a way to get his attention. Acacuanetzin. Nemoa, go on. Siwa ilama. Go back to your chinampas in Xochimilco, collect as many earthworms and find the pochot, silk tree by the canal waters, and at night leave your offering. Go back the next night and you will find him there. Acalconetzin jump up in excitement, leaves some of his leftover vegetables and gives them to the Siwa ilama. Acalconetzin. Tlazo kamati. Thank you. Fade out. The cliffhanger, I'll come back with the next scene.
I like that. Cliffhanger. Cool, man. You got two book covers behind you there on your screen. tell us more about where we can find you and your work online.
Well, so I've been doing a lot of interesting music and music clips, and then also some some new trying out some new video generation tools with basically you take your poetry and it tries to stitch the right kind of images together for you, and then you can rearrange them and do some minor editing with it. It's not too bad. I think I need to talk to the company. They need to wrap it around like thematic network so that it has a kind of theme to it, which is kind of, otherwise it looks like you're on drugs or something. Then I have a piece that came out on the syncopated literature. So you want to make the earth sink, that got published, and some of my artwork got published there too. The Arabian Press published the first chapter of I'm Not Your Chihuahua. So they're going to publish that in bilingual. So that should be coming out. And I'm with Lee on that one. She's on that one also. And what else? I think that's about it right now. Just working hard on marketing the book, making interesting marketing videos. We'll see what happens.
Cool. Keep it up, man. Thank you. Alrighty then. And of course, no music. So Kit, sorry, no music today. All right. All right. Oh, there's the echo. Gone. All right. We have Ed made it back. Ed is with us, and he has some poetry he wants to share. Ed, what's going on? How are you? How are you doing tonight?
I'm great. Thank you for making our Monday nights a delight in the wonderful barbed wire spotlight. Woo! All right. My name is Ed Potastic. Hope everyone feeling fantastic. Please give me time to enjoy rhyme for the sublime. I got 3 pieces, so going to rhyme. My first piece is called Iron Rocket. The early bird is flying in the colorful sea. Up early, what happened to my coffee? My chocolate decaf of anti-misery. Where's my expensive liquid toffee? I'm daydreaming of exotic commercial. My eyes were glued to the bowl of cereal. The headaches of the global traversal. Look at me, the stuffy, cranky, and joyful turtle. A piece of paper dancing around my pocket. My electric muses singing in my ear. I'm waiting for my speedy rocket to trip far away from my boredom and fears. My fingers dancing around my jacket. My body with this annoying habit. My legs jump higher than any grasshopper or rabbit. I'm mumbling, is this it? Is this it? Or is this it? I finally found my golden ticket. I was almost at my limit. My rockets come in 15 minutes. The feeling of paying for something, but never visit. Here it comes, the smoky rocket coming in for a landing. My footsteps are slowly advancing. The rocket's panting while the doors start branching. The rocket looked modern and enchanting. I gave my paper in the ticket collector's hand. I felt I was about to burst, but you understand. My trip to the bathroom wasn't planned. You gotta go if you gotta go. Everyone could understand. Yeah, yay! You don't want to hear the details. We are all males and females. Let's just say I prevail my trail. Let's just say I calm my angry wail. The floor started moving and the rocket started singing. I started grinning, thinking and sitting. I started thinking what I was missing. My ideas started swimming and swimming. Oh, my luggage, wait, they're on top of my head. If I didn't remember, I'll be dead. My body felt like lumber and lead. I ordered a meal of beef and noodles with beer. It left me in joyful tears. My fingers were wrestling with a silver spear. I yawn, the drowsiness is here. Ask for a fluffy marshmallow to help me dream. Ask for a blindfold to submerge in the stream. Ask for earplugs for the sounds, toots, and screams. All right, time to sleep in the supreme. I awakened to a quiet sight. I left the rocket at midnight. I wave and saw my Uber lights. I'm racing off to a hotel for another sleeping site. Thank you. All right. This is called thank you. This is called Noir Queen. It's a love story. She was a bottle of wonder and mystery, only gave up few coups. I was lost in her cheerful tapestry. My mind was lost in the deep blues. The sun reflected on her like sunlight through a tall hourglass. I just stare. She looked like a student staring at a clock. She really didn't care. Her makeup was colorful, like high quality paint spilled on the ballroom floor. My heart was like a camel. It wasn't parched, but thirsty for more. She needed a great friend like a dog needed a milk bone. My heart was soft like a fluffy marshmallow. Then it turned to rough stone. Our days were bittersweet, like a date-old cup of sweetened black coffee. She was bored, like a swimmer bobbing and floating in the sea. Her eyes shone like diamonds every time she talks about her thief in the night. I guess there were two dull black and white shadows between the twilight. She talked about him like a follower talks about their Messiah or God. I stood there like a statue that was shocked, confused, and odd. She kept saying how her thief gave her treasures in the night and vanishes in the day. I'm sorry, darling. She's like a comet. He's there, but never stays. She stares at her cell phone like a rider waiting for an untimely bus. To me, it was like looking at a sculpture turning to rust and dust. Her eyes and mouth turned to lava like a cranky, erupting volcano. I was mute, like a regular in a library reading a book labeled No. She wanted his blood like a hungry killer with bloodlust to the brim. Her cell phone vibrated. Her ferocity would quietly dim. He texted her. She looked calmer like the eye of a noisy thunderstorm. I heard a loud sound like a trumpet or a French horn. My mouth was sealed like a secret diary with a golden locket. I felt dirty like a pig rolling around in sloppy, filthy shit. I want to say he doesn't care about you, but it'll be like teaching the blind or deaf. I wanted to say it, but like a mockingbird, she chirped and left. It's a crime. I felt indifferent, like a bastard cop on a vacation. I felt hopeless, like a fly wrapped in a sticky situation. Now I feel alone, like an ant in a giant sandbox. I just be here like a starfish on a comfy rock. Thank you. And I got one more. This is called Luminous Lighthouse. Hey, June, don't make it bad. Take a sad song and make it better. Remember to let her into your heart. Then you can start to making it better. Be luminous light in the pitch darkness, shine your radiant glow to the tiny plants, fill the melancholy weather with eternal bliss, spray your lights to the starving ants, turn your endless rain into vibrant heat, burn the prickly thorns so far, far away, cheer on the blackened hearts and frigid feet, ease the heavy burns our lowest days, help them grow wings to dance in the sky, make our pain and sharp grief decay, spread their cold ashes where they lie, be the golden road to put us on course in order to bask and taste greener pastures, be the white pill that destroys the toxic source that levitates the fallen on a higher measure, create the flames that inspire the blind, get lost in their worldly pleasant chime, to help shine, dazzle, and grow the minds. Please swallow the ugly, murky meadows to birth a much clearer and bluer pond. Help kill away the doubtful, tearful shadows to be able to be happy, to freely, to move on. Thank you.
Awesome. No, thank you, man. Appreciate the shout out to all the lighthouses out there in the world, including yourself. How can people find you, man?
Oh, you can come at this wonderful mic that makes our money light such a delight in this wonderful fantastic spotlight. But if you want to follow me, please feel free. My IG name is Eddie Foreman 92 and my Facebook name is Eddie Foreman 80 Foreman. And remember, the mic is right. I'll be there to shine my pleasant insight. You would send me a question, you would take a guess. The answer is yes. Hope everyone stay happy, safe, and blessed, and never stop singing or speaking the one absurd outside your chest, and never stop being and feeling your best. Oh, I have a feature tomorrow on Time to Arrive at 9 p.m. And on Wednesday, me and Finn Bell are having our movie night with such a delight that we're going to feature Night at the Museum. Woo! And I got another feature on Sunday at 10 a.m. at Home is Where the Heart Is. I'll share the links in the chat so you know where it's at.
Super cool. I appreciate that. Thank you, Ed. Thank you. Love it. Yes, check out Ed. And he's also have I saw poetry games, some little rhyme time. Hold on, how do I get this on me? There we go. Movie night. Check that out. It looks like we're gonna have to add Across the Universe as well to the upcoming movies list. If you want to know more, I'll share those links, or we already have them here. Yeah, movie night. Alrighty then, we're gonna go ahead and, as we do often, we're gonna pass the mic to the secret producer of the show. He calls all the shots in the background. In fact, he's already ready to go. Let's go ahead and get the mic to him. Let's welcome to the stage Dan the Man.
Yeah. What's up, everybody? How's everybody doing tonight? Okay. All right. I'm gonna make this real quick. So here it is. Dang. Sorry the blur lights blocking the. Okay. Okay. Let me do some freestyling. Wow. We're night. Yep. Everything's going all right. And yeah, according to Matthew McConaughey, all right. Yep. Yeah. Everything's uptight. Everything is all right. Uptight. Yeah. All night. Yeah. Yeah. Well, I know we're still in the middle of winter. Well, now no longer for nobody wants a frostbite or a forthright. If you see a snowstorm forthright, well, there's a lot of insights. There's always two bright lights. Well, speaking of poetry, there's always the playwrights, like you see on stage, and always the searchlight, and there's the outright, and there's something we need to write, and it's always out of sight. But it's always the words to reunite. But even though for all of open mics, it's always the poetry is opening night, out like a light, and yep, out of sight. All right, let me try one. Okay, let me try another one. Okay. Well, we don't know if there's any going to immerse, but all the words are in diverse. And things cannot go worse if you learn the verse, but do not put poetry a curse. No. We just want to make sure everything's in submerse and always reimburse. But I wish I had a chance to meet Vanessa first. Okay, last one. Last one. And the band played on, well, offhand. Yeah, nothing like a shorthand, but a longhand. We need nothing to beat this band but to rebrand and to expand firsthand. Well, if from Dixieland to Disneyland, there's always a helping hand in Holy Land. But right here in El Paso, there's always the Rio Grande. But not even the no man's land or near the Holy Land. Well, can we get a hand? We need a helping hand, if you know what I mean. Okay, some freestyling with a little help of the rhyming dictionary. Yeah. All right, guys. Okay. And just a quick announcement. I'm still in the middle of editing the first regular vlog of 2023. We should have it by tomorrow or maybe Wednesday, but I will have the best of 2022 slideshows, part 3 and part 4. Y'all are in this one. So except for those who are new today. So you guys, well, so I'll get it done. So I should have it uploaded, and I'll get it done by. So I'll keep you guys posted. And by my New Year's resolution, I think I'm hoping to still make my book based on my poetries that I've done throughout the years. But I'm planning to put this as a book. So let's wait and see.
That's cool, Dan. Right on. Tell us where we can find you. You don't need Dan. You don't need the card. Believe in yourself. I know you know this memorized by heart. Quick, what's your YouTube channel? Or not? Click.
Yeah, same as Twitter and Instagram, as from the YouTube channel. That's it. And even though yeah, I'm behind posts on Twitter and Facebook. I'm catching up on Instagram, but most importantly, find Dan the Man's Weekly on YouTube. Just don't forget to subscribe it. And here's the hashtag Dan the Man's Weekly. All right, guys. I'll keep you guys posted. Y'all be careful, and hope to see you guys next Monday for Martin Luther King night. All right. Okay, Richie. Is that everybody? Maybe we should call it a night. If it's everybody.
It's okay. It doesn't matter. You can just pass it on to me, man.
Gotcha.
I'm gonna mute you though for sure. All right. Oh, muted. All right. So that does well, let me see. Hold on. Let me check. Nope. That is everyone who signed up tonight. We're here every Monday. I do want to announce, if you are in the El Paso area and you haven't already, follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. Although we really kind of use Instagram the most, but we post stuff on Facebook as well, especially events. We do have a poetry specific show coming up on Tuesday the 24th, so be on the lookout for that. That's going to be at Capri, and promo for that should be out by this week. So if you're a poet in the area, if you know anyone who would like to share their work, come out, and hopefully it'll be a good debut show, and hopefully one that we can continue having. This Thursday, I will be performing downtown with a live jazz band, along with Poet Khan and another awesome poet by the name of You. She's really cool. She doesn't really do the online stuff, but she's awesome. And along that, again, my buddy's playing, just some great jazz music. It's always so much fun. And the other thing is, with the college, we're getting ready to go back to school. In April, we're gonna bring in a guest poet from Chicago, His name is Jose Olivares. I've shared his work here before. He's the son of Mexican immigrants, and his first book, Citizen Illegal, is really great. He has a new book out called Promises of Gold. So I'm going to end the show with one of his pieces. It's one of my favorites. I have read it here before as a cover poem, and just leave off with the image and the message. It's called Note, Rose That Grows from Concrete. The inspirational slogan wants you to believe you are a rose, but consider the emperor's muddy boot. You could be a rose or concrete. The record suggests that boot sees both as a welcome mat. We need a new metaphor. A seed is better, but when seeds grow, who gets the fruits? Fuck it. Be a rusty nail. Make the emperor howl. For the online open mic, my name is Rich. Shout out to all the performers. We will see you next Monday. All right. Shout out. Have a good night, guys.